The Mortal Kombat franchise has been one of the most iconic franchises of all time. Ever since the game's release back in 1992, a lot of Mortal Kombat games have came out since then. So today, I want to go back to every single Mortal Kombat game and see the ones that have aged the best and see the ones that have seriously not aged well at all. So with that, rank 22, Mortal Kombat Special Forces. This barely counts as a Mortal Kombat game. You go around stopping Kano and fighting the Black Dragon. There's only 5 levels throughout the entire game. Most of you play once and you never play again. This game is so complete garbage. It's not even worth playing this Metal Gear clone. 21. Mortal Kombat Mythologist Sub-Zero. I was debating on putting this in last place, but it's a step better than Special Forces. But it's not perfect. This is just the only spin-off game that doesn't include fighting style. And no, the boss battles doesn't count. This game is just horrendous. The platforming sucks. The live action cutscenes makes me cringe, and the death animations are ridiculous. I can still understand why some people like this game, but to me, it's like getting over it with MK characters. 20. Mortal Kombat Advanced. Do you remember this game? I didn't realize this game exists until I tried it myself, and this game is boring. The control sucks, the graphics looks worse than MK3, and there's no plot of this game. I do like the bigger character roster, but other than that, this game is the most boringest game of the entire series. 19. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. This is another Mortal Kombat spin-off game with a new 3D fighting style game. I never heard of this game until I got a PS2 in 2019 and the games with it. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't enjoy this game. Don't get me wrong, the game is fine, but there's nothing special about it. It's just a generic Mortal Kombat game with some weird changes. Like I said, the game is decent enough, but there's better options out there. 18. Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition. I remember playing this game when I first got a Game Boy Advance at the age of 5. And it's a pretty decent game. The controls sucks, I know, but I don't mind the controls at all. This game builds the impression of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance by adding Sector, Noob Saibot, and Serena to add to the plot. This game reminds me of an old school arcade game, so that's kind of cool. But let's be honest here, who's gonna play Mortal Kombat on the go? 17. Mortal Kombat 1, the game that started it all. I remember playing this game on my PS3, which we'll get to later. The game was first released in the arcade, SNES, and Sega Genesis. Speaking of the SNES version, it's completely censored, and for good reason. The character roster is small, which I don't get why it's small, and the boss battles are kind of hard, but whatever. But whatever. But even with that said, it's still a fun game. I even have it on my PS3, and I have the arcade 1-up version. 16. Mortal Kombat Gold. This was the start of the 3D era Mortal Kombat games, and honestly, they should have never went to the 3D era. The game is still fun, don't get me wrong, but it didn't work by the way Midway did it. There's 2 versions, the original and the Dreamcast version. I don't understand why there wasn't the PS2 version of Mortal Kombat Gold, but I'll let it slide. The whole plot of this game is that a fallen Elder God, Shinnok, is getting his revenge on the Elder Gods because they've locked him out, and this is the first game that Quan Chi appeared. There are some flaws with this game. The arcade ladder endings are stupidly ridiculous. The controls based off the N64 version are atrocious. And the gold version is just, well, the gold version. So if you want to play a 3D MK game, just get the original. And speaking of the original, 15. Mortal Kombat 4. I have nothing to say here because it's basically the Dreamcast version, but slightly less annoying. I played this game before and rarely played it multiple times because, well, the control sucks. 14. Mortal Kombat 2, the sequel to the first game. It plays exactly the same, but it has a new plot line and brand new characters, including Kuai Liang Sub-Zero. This time, Shao Kahn is the main villain instead of Shang Tsung, because he's a playable character now. We have 3 stage fatalities instead of 1, and the fatalities are way more advanced here. 13. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. This is the same as the first 2, but with a new plot and new characters. I don't know if these 2 are completely separate games, but I'll put them together because they play exactly the same. It has the new plot line, which is Shao Kahn taking over Earthrealm, and it's up to the heroes to save the day and stop Shao Kahn and Sindel, who is under mind control, by the way. I like this game. I always want to play this game. 12. Ultimate Mortal Kombat. It's just Mortal Kombat 3 but on the DS. It's a near perfect game, and you can still play on multiplayer if someone else has their own DS or 3DS. 11. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. It features a similar basic gameplay system and the same story as Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, but adds characters and stages restored from Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. I never tried this game until last year. 10. Mortal Kombat Arcade Edition. I'm not gonna say it again. It's the same. It's just the collection of the first 3 Mortal Kombat games. So yeah, that's all I have to say. 9. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. This is the last Midway game to have intense violence. The character roster is big, the Conquest mode is back from Deception, and they also have Motor Combat, a Mario Kart clone for MK characters. But this game has a lot of flaws. Lame fatalities, the characters play exactly the same, and the final boss is boring. This is where Midway started to get lazy with the Mortal Kombat series. 8. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Many consider this as one of the most controversial ones in the series because of a T rating, kid-friendly fatalities, and the story mode is just, the story mode is just garbage. I get why a lot of people crap on this game, but I played this game before, and I enjoy the heck out of this game. The DC characters are awesome with their own movesets, the MK cast has the same moves from the previous titles, the stage selection is good, and this game created the Injustice series. The idea of Shao Kahn and Darkseid fusing to become Dark Kahn is an amazing idea, but they barely execute with the character. But this game is still fun. If you want your kid to get into the Mortal Kombat series, I would recommend getting this game. 7. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. This is the all-new Mortal Kombat fighting game produced exclusively to home consoles, with no preceding arcade releases. Its story focuses on the anomalous alliance between sorcerers Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, and their schemes to revive the ancient army to conquer Outworld and Earthrealm. The game is the only main installment to not feature series protagonist Liu Kang as a playable character, because he did. This game is fun, but finding the game with the D-pad, at least in the GameCube version, is horrendous. Oh my god. 6. Mortal Kombat Deception. This is my first Mortal Kombat game I've ever played. I remember getting this game when I was 6 years old. But let's get back to the topic. This story centers around the revival of Dragon King Onaga, who attempts to conquer the realms featured in the series after defeating the sorcerers Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, the main antagonists in the previous game, and the Thunder God Raiden, defender of Earthrealm. The surviving warriors from the previous titles join forces to confront Onaga. I like this game. I always play on my PS2. 5. Mortal Kombat Unchained. I'm not gonna say it again. This is Mortal Kombat Deception but on the PSP, and also has a bigger character roster, so yeah, that's the reason why it's above the original. 4. Mortal Kombat 11. I feel like this game gets overshadowed by many. I get why it got the most hated game of the series, but I like this game. It's pretty decent. I like the Crusher blows at least. The Fatal blows are good, and the guest characters are really cool. And yep, you know what I mean. It has the Joker, one of the best DC villains of the entire series. Now, let's get to a couple of reasons why a lot of people hate this game. First off is wasting Dark Raiden. What was NetherRealm thinking? Jade and Kotal Khan being a couple for completely no reason because the comic series was canceled. Instead, them being evil the entire time was the most biggest middle finger to the players. The story mode was lame as well. Like, what the heck? What's up with the story mode? But Aftermath is way worse. But this game is still fun. I always play on my PS4 and my PS5. 3. Mortal Kombat 1 2023. It's the third reboot of the MK series, and it says a new era created by Liu Kang after attaining godhood in Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 1 has Bi-Han return as the primary playable Sub-Zero again, while Kuo Liang has 2 versions, where it has the fighter version where he's a scorpion now, and the cameo version, which is the second Sub-Zero. Actually, the third Sub-Zero. And don't worry, Scorpion fans, Hanzo Hasashi is still there, but as a cameo character. I kind of like this game. I'm not gonna lie. I've tried this game before. I tried this game a couple of days ago, and let's just be honest, it's way more better than Mortal Kombat 11. 2. Mortal Kombat X. I cannot believe this game is almost a decade old. It's the 10th main installment in the Mortal Kombat series, and is a sequel to Mortal Kombat 2011. The game takes place 25 years after the events of its predecessor. The game introduces to the Kombat Kids, Kodo Khan, Devora, Aaron Black, and Ferrator. The variation systems are a bit interesting, but cool as well. Some of the references are back to themselves, and the voice acting is amazing. It got Steve Bloom, Ray Delisle, Greg Eagles, Tara Strong, and yeah, the voice cast is crazy. The plot has the same exact plot as Mortal Kombat 4/Gold, but this time, the Earthrealm heroes managed to defeat him and capture him. It kept him 25 years later. Melina tried to get the amulet. She managed to do that. The Kombat Kids teamed up with Outworld, but they got betrayed. And now it's up to the Kombat Kids to save the day because Shinnok came back. And Cassie Cage, after seeing his father getting tortured, she managed to save the day and stop Shinnok for good. I know a lot of people hate the story mode, but I don't mind the story mode at all. 1. Mortal Kombat 9. I cannot believe that NetherRealm Studios' first Mortal Kombat game is number 1. This is a reboot that tells the first 3 Mortal Kombat games. The voice actors from Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe came back, the soundtrack is remixed, the stages have been enhanced, and they introduced us to new characters like Cyber Sub-Zero and Scarlet. Also, if you have the PS3 version of Mortal Kombat 9, you'll get introduced to Kratos from the God of War series. Sure, Mortal Kombat 2011 has some flaws, but this game will always be my favorite Mortal Kombat game of all time. Before we end off the video, I want to give a quick honorable mention to Mortal Kombat Onslaught. Mortal Kombat Onslaught is just an RPG fighting style game. As of recording this video, there is no release date of the game yet, but I want to put it on the list. I will put it above Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition. Ooh boy, that was a lot of Mortal Kombat games to go through. I cannot believe that there's almost 20 over Mortal Kombat games throughout the series. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like down below, consider subscribing, and with other being said, tell me down in the comments what was your favorite Mortal Kombat game. Anyway, this is Chase TPS. I'll see you next time. Wait, Scorpion, what are you doing here?
Get over here!